Hey guys, a quick announcement here. As I take the leap into full-time content creation, one goal stands above all: to build a welcoming, tight-knit gaming community. A space where players feel like they belong. Inspired by iconic hubs like the Gathering Hall from Monster Hunter or the Citadel in Mass Effect, I envision a place where gamers from all walks of life can connect, share their passions, and forge lasting friendships. This isn't just about playing games, it's about crafting a community-driven environment where mutual respect, fun, and passion thrive. Whether you're a casual explorer or a hardcore speedrunner, there's a seat waiting for you. To kick off this exciting journey, I'm hosting a Nintendo Switch 2 giveaway, an exclusive event set for June, right when the console hits the market. This is more than a giveaway, it's an invitation to be part of something bigger from the ground up. In addition to the Switch 2, other prizes will be revealed soon. These are designed to give back to the amazing players who help shape this growing space. Getting involved is simple. Here's how you qualify. Join my Discord server. Submit your details via my official website. Both links are available in the video description below. You must complete both steps to be considered for the main prize. Don't miss out. Last but not least, I would like to thank the sponsors of this giveaway, Nick and Alex, aka Bad Hombre. It could not have been possible without your help, guys, so thank you so much. Once more, thank you for being part of this new chapter in my life. And now, let's get it on with the video. Patriots of Super Earth, soldiers of liberty, today we rise. The content drought is over, the long wait is done, and no, this isn't another patch to slap a band-aid on your boredom. This is invasion and weapon customization. It seems all theories in regards to the Meridian Black Hole were right on the money. A full-fledged invasion of the Illuminate has struck, and it seems they are aiming for the heart of democracy itself, Super Earth. On May 13th at approximately 1400 hours, multiple defense satellites monitoring the Meridian wormhole ceased transmitting. Simultaneously, attacks were reported across the Widow's Harbor system. Intelligence confirms the presence of a massive Illuminate fleet. A state of extra-tyrannical emergency has been declared. High Command believes this fleet's ultimate objective is nothing less than the invasion of Super Earth. Standing between the Illuminate and our home are 3 planets: Widow's Harbor, recently lost to the Illuminate, Pylon 5, and New Haven. Helldivers are ordered to immediately and aggressively interdict the Illuminate advance. Cross-ministry defense projections indicate that preventing the fleet from reaching Super Earth is not possible. All 3 planets are expected to fall. The mission is clear: inflict maximum damage on the enemy and buy time while megacity defenses are fortified. A battle on Super Earth is inevitable. Illuminate victory parties across the colonies have been converted into rapid enlistment events to bolster safe defenses. At the time of this broadcast, all Helldivers are converging at the Altus sector to become the spear and shield that defends democracy. Early reports indicate the presence of new Illuminate units. The Stingray, Illuminate air support craft capable of executing precise and deadly strafing runs against Helldivers. Reinforced with medium armor, use any and all support weapons to bring them down. Auto-targeting weapons are especially effective. the Crescent Overseer. Elite infantry equipped with indirect fire capabilities, capable of flushing Helldivers out of cover. Like other Overseers, they are armored. Aim for the head to schedule their appointment with Lady Democracy. The Fleshmob, a grotesque failure of Illuminate experimentation. These monstrosities are assembled from discarded, voteless biomass into brute force killers. Tanky, relentless, and deadly. They charge with bladed appendages and no regard for their own safety. The Wasp launcher is proving highly effective at sending them a warm, explosive welcome from democracy. Previous Illuminate units have exhibited a noticeable shift in behavior. The voteless are more aggressive than ever, engaging the moment they detect a Helldiver, driven not by strategy, but by a burning irrational hatred for everything we stand for. Not a moment too soon, Generals Pilstead and Malmborg brought in the good tidings. And damn, it was good to see Johan once more. War never changes, but your arsenal just did. This invasion couldn't have come at a better time. High Command just greenlit weapon attachments for all primaries. You want to tweak your kit like it's a vintage Mustang in your dad's garage? Hit rank 10, and that is all you need to start. Doors open. Now all you gotta do is grind with your weapon of choice. Customization has only been allowed for primary weapons. Melee and sidearms, still factory sealed for now. Some let you customize muzzle, underbarrel, optics, magazine, even cosmetics. Others like plasma weapons are a bit more temperamental. So experimental tech will not benefit as much this time around. Still, we've finally got a foundation worth fighting for. Every choice matters. You want a suppressor to control recoil? That's fine, but you better like blinding muzzle flash. Lighter grips? Great, if you're okay sacrificing control. Ergonomics will be affected when making changes. Stack a long scope, heavy mag, and a fat muzzle, you're carrying a tank. Strip it all down, and the weapon handling will be smooth. Easy 180-degree turns. Of course, you will prioritize what matters based on the faction you're fighting at the time. Clankers do not need you to be making sharp turns every couple seconds, like when you're fighting bugs. So you can afford to sacrifice ergonomics for a drum magazine and heavier scope. In contrast, when handling hunters or the voteless, mobility counts. You most definitely want to shift your aim fast, so you'll go perhaps with just a regular or extended magazine and a reflex sight. The choice is yours. You want the good stuff? All you gotta do is just use your weapons, level them up. XP unlocks attachments and cosmetics. You buy them with requisition slips. It's simple and it's satisfying. You also get templates, 3 per weapon. Build, save, deploy. Remember what I said earlier about switching attachments based on the faction? Well, there you go. 1 template per faction. No more holding up the squad while you make up your mind on what to carry. In short, every weapon now has its own customization tree. And yeah, you can get that Liberator to carry big ammo, like the concussive variant. And even though you will get close to make them very similar, you will never be fully able to recreate it, keeping the identity of each gun intact. And don't get cozy, this system's evolving. There will be more attachments, more weapons, and more color patterns in the future for each gun. So we never know what surprises will the future bring. Stay tuned. With great freedom comes a ton of balancing. You let the people tinker, and you gotta make sure democracy doesn't break in half with so many changes. We will review patch 010-03000, which is the latest patch. Now that's a mouthful. Patch notes are below in the description for you to dig in. Let's get you up to speed on the numbers, but first we need to go over the meaning of some terms for gun performance. Spread. is how far your shot veers from the center. It's been reworked, especially for SMGs and sidearms. Primaries now shoot straight, finally. Drag. How fast a projectile loses speed over distance. Pistol caliber ammo now slows down properly. It means SMGs and sidearms hit softer at range. Sway. Weapon aim shift based on movement and stance, meaning you will be more accurate on proning position versus running and gunning. Also, a higher value in ergonomics means less sway, and a lower value in ergonomic means less accuracy. MRAD, it's an statistical dispersion. Think of it as a ruler for bullet grouping. The lower the MRAD, the tighter and more precise shots you get. Alright, let's take a closer look at the changes done. Weapon spread has been reduced drastically for primary weapons, leaving shotguns outside this group for obvious reasons. Pistols, rifles, and SMGs, they shoot proper this time around. However, if you move too much, your gun drifts. Stance and ergonomics play a big part on accuracy. On the downside, pistols and SMGs will be hit with higher drag, so they will no longer be as effective on long distance. For melee weapons, stamina cost got slashed, so all melee weapons will have their stamina cost per attack reduced by half, allowing you to have a better stamina management in case you need to run after attacking. What happens if you run out of stamina while using melee? Well, nothing. If you run out of stamina, you will be able to keep attacking, but getting away will be more difficult. Shrapnel spawning. With this update, shrapnel will now always spawn in a full 360-degree spread, regardless of where the explosion occurs. This means weapons like the R-36 Eruptor will now more reliably hit the intended target with their shrapnel. In addition, shrapnel performance against armored foes was adjusted. Shrapnel now has reduced effectiveness at poor impact angles. Armor penetration has been decreased on shrapnel projectiles from 3 to 2, meaning that they are no longer medium armor penetrating but just light armor penetrating. To compensate, the amount of shrapnel spawned will increase from 30 to 35 in frag grenades and from 25 to 30 in autocannon flak. Flamethrowers also got the master's touch. The update aims to better balance fire damage between direct hits, like those from flamethrowers, and burn effects over time, while also introducing scaling of fire damage depending on the size of the enemy. Previously, burn damage didn't scale well against larger enemies, making putting them on fire feel less effective on those encounters. Now, the larger the enemy, the more damage they take while burning. However, bigger enemies will also be slightly more resistant to ignition, meaning that setting Vile Titans on fire will actually drain from their HP pool significantly. Additionally, direct fire damage now scales with enemy size, so large enemies like Chargers will still take roughly the same damage as before, while smaller enemies will take significantly less. Robotic enemies are harder to set on fire than organic ones. Incendiary ammunition and lasers are now less effective at igniting enemies, but once they do, the resulting burn damage is more impactful thanks to the new scaling system. Some more good news. Helldivers will not spontaneously combust when barely touching any fire source, but it will take much longer to be set on fire, and this includes when being shot by the incineration corpse. A most welcome change in my opinion. Now let's get surgical with the numbers. For the Liberator, spread went down from 4 to 2. For the Penetrator, starting magazine increased from 5 to 6, and max spare magazines increased from 7 to 8. For the Concussive, spread decreased from a crazy 24 to 4. Now that's a big change. The STA-52 Assault Rifle, spread decreased from 4 to 2. The AR-23 Liberator Carbine, spread decreased from 4 to 3. The Tenderizer got the same treatment, spread decreased from 4 to 1. The SMG Defender, spread decreased from 20 to 5. Drag increased from 0.3 to 0.6, so that means it's less effective on long distance. The sway has been also increased from 1 to 1.2. For the pummeler, spread decreased from 20 to 5. I mean, those are some big changes. The drag has been increased from 0.3 to 0.6. The sway has been increased from 1 to 1.2. For the MP98 Knight, spread decreased from 25 to 5. The drag was increased from 0.3 to 0.6. Sway increased from 1 to 1.2. For the STA-11 SMG, spread decreased from 25 to 5. Drag increased from 0.3 to 0.6. Sway increased from 1 to 1.2. Now, I'm really excited for this one, for the SMG-32 Reprimand. The spread has been decreased from a crazy 40 to 5. That's meaningful. So it no longer shoots like if you're using it with your feet. The drag was increased from 0.3 to 0.6. For the JAR 5 Dominator, sway decreased from 1 to 0.8. The Diligence Counter Sniper got the sway decreased from 1 to 0.8. For the Flam 66 Torture, it got a magazine capacity increase by 25%. For the R36 Eruptor, we saw some great changes. Spread decreased from 10 to 5. Ergonomics increased from minus 14 to 25. Sway decreased from 1 to 0.8. Fire rate increased from 25 to 32. That's great. They also fixed the bug that allowed players to cancel the reload animation. So all of these changes will help compensate for the removal of that bug. The Plus 39 accelerator rifle has been finally fixed. Drag decreased from 1.5 to 0.1. So this will make it a legit long-distance rifle. The changes to drag means it won't lose speed and damage as it travels through the air and does the damage you would expect it to do on long distances. The GP31 Ultimatum. Explosion damage double, projectile damage nerfed. Now it explodes like it's supposed to, but the demolition damage has been reduced. We will no longer be able to one-shot factory striders or destroy the jammers. It is now affected by the Hellpod optimization booster. The explosion damage has been increased from 1,000 to 2,000. The explosion inner radius has been decreased from 4 meters to 2 meters. And I'm not too excited about that change. The projectile damage has decreased from 3,500 to 1,000. Demolition strength decreased from 50 to 40. And the sway was increased from 1 to 1.3. All the sidearms got their speed drastically reduced from the 30s all the way to 10, and in the case of the Verdict and the Senator, to 8, while sway was increased across the board from 1 to 1.2 or 1.3. In my experience, you can notice the change in sidearms. I felt like missing a lot more shots when shooting while running. I am not a big fan of this change in a specific. With the increase in sway, I am no longer relying on my Senator to do as good of a job against hulks as it used to. Stratagems and support gear. The RS-422 railgun got the spread reduced from 10 to 0.1. The Flam 40 flamethrower got its magazine capacity increased by 30%. The jump pack got increased brake force on landing to make Helldivers less likely to ragdoll when landing. The Eagle 110mm rockets got their stagger strength increased from 35 to 40 and increased armor penetration at angles. Enemy changes. Automaton bunker turret got their spread increased from 20 to 50, so they are no longer behaving like sniper turrets with aimbots. The Devastator Incineration Corp variant got less pellet damage, and they need more hits to ignite the Helldivers. Gunships, their armor got reduced from 4 to 3, meaning you can hit them at the body with any medium penetration weapon. However, it is always more effective to go for the thrusters. Their health got increased from 700 to 950. Their fire rate and accuracy got increased as well. Now that's scary. The bulk fabricator got the health increase from 1500 to 5000. You can destroy them with any anti-tank weaponry, or you can just simply drop a grenade on the vent. Troopers. Fixed reload bug, so if you ever wonder why they were shooting only once at a time, it was because they were reloading after every shot. They will shoot as intended now. Spore spewers got their demolition level dropped from 60 to 50, making them susceptible to more ordnance in the stratagem roster. Illuminates, warp ships now vulnerable to anti-tank after shields drop. This patch is not a tune-up. In my opinion, it's more of a metamorphosis. A new layer of depth was added with the addition of the weapon customizations, bringing around 500 plus hours of replay value. Builds and meta will be more interesting than ever, and the more they add to this system, the more versatility we'll have across the board. The new balancing provided a lot more value to rifles, and that was much needed. To see the Eruptor in such an excellent standing brings a tear to my eye. The new Illuminate chapter is the right move to create build-up for the upcoming battle in Super Earth. Our ranks will increase through this whole saga, no doubt. And this leads me to say, we are so back, baby. Last but not least, we've got a new warband on deck. It's called Masters of Ceremony, and in my professional opinion, it's a damn fashion show. Yeah, it's got the basics, a new primary, secondary, a hell of a grenade, and even a stratagem. But don't get it twisted, this thing's dressed to impress, not dominate. Every piece feels more ceremonial than combat ready. Pun very much intended. Let's take a look at the primary weapon in this warband, the R2 Amendment, a marksman rifle with a bayonet for close-quarter combats. It's got light penetration, it hits harder than the Diligence, and toggles between single shot and burst fire. Ammo's a bit stingy though. You can only swap sights and color patterns, so in the realm of customization it leaves much to be desired. It's clearly meant for people who want to look good while on the battlefield. Can it work? Sure, I ran it against the Illuminate and still cleared objectives. I mean, it gets the job done. Is it top tier? No, but if you know where to aim and have decent trigger discipline, it's a viable option for sure. The secondary weapon, it's the CQC-2 Saber. It's a melee weapon, it looks cool, I've never used one and I'm not about to start now. It's just another one-hander in my opinion. If you like waving sharp things around in close quarters, knock yourself out. Otherwise, just move along. For the grenade option, we got the G142 Pyrotech, and this one's flashy, quite literally. An incendiary grenade that spins like a carnival ride and lights up a medium-sized area in flames. Looks like fireworks, sounds like fireworks, but works a hell lot better than fireworks. You can carry 6 and up to 8 with the armor passive. It's great for voteless, swarms of enemies in general, bug breaches, and even hulks and tanks. In short, small fry and medium-sized enemies. Hell, it even works with factory striders too when tossing 4 or 5 of these bad boys in the mix. I believe the trick is in the sparks. They seem to be termite sparks, so their armor penetration value goes all the way to 5, meaning it will melt everything it touches without discrimination. It's fun to watch, and in my opinion, this is the crown jewel of this warband, the redeeming item that makes it worth to get. Based on the theatrics, abundance, and their effectiveness, of course, I am going to choose this one over the previous 2 options of incendiary grenade. But if you think this is just not enough to choose this warband and save your hard-earned super credits on other warbands that may have more oomph, nobody's gonna give you ugly looks. The stratagem. And this is a bit of a weird one. It's called the One True Flag, and it's a melee weapon. It's basically a lance with Super Earth's flag attached to it. If that doesn't scream subtlety, I don't know what does. Unless this thing secretly buffs nearby allies or triggers Liberty-induced seizures in the enemy ranks, it's a novelty item. It's just for the memes, not for missions. Plus, it's impossible to aim and shoot on third-person mode while using the flag. Now, listen to me. I have a hunch that there is a possibility it might play a role in the upcoming battle for Super Earth. But time will tell. I hope they do something special with this one. Otherwise, it would be a missed opportunity. Now let's take a look at the armor. The armor passive this time around is called Reinforced Epaulettes. And I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. The passive is shared amongst all 3 armor sets, and it gives you a 50% chance to ignore grievous limb injuries. Translation, it's a coin flip to maybe not get your leg broken. Functionally, close to useless actually. But you know what? They look fantastic. The capes, the helmets, the badge design. This warband is dripping in style. So if you're a fashion diver who likes to dress to impress while eradicating the Xeno scum, this is a keeper for you. So, to wrap this up, Masters of Ceremony isn't here to break the meta. It's here to turn heads while you sacrifice yourself for dear democracy. If you're looking for raw firepower, groundbreaking gear, or game-changing utility, you should probably stick to the previous warbands. But if your priority is looking like the star of the military parade, then congratulations, this warband was tailor-made for you. Another glorious addition to the armory of freedom. Masters of Democracy, not the strongest tool in the arsenal, but by Super Earth they are the shiniest. And there you have it, Helldivers. The Illuminate have cast aside their illusion of peace and brought their blasphemous light to our doorstep. The defense of Super Earth begins not with walls, but with the brave souls who charge headfirst into the abyss and say, "Not today, squid scum." Now lock, load, and spread that managed democracy until the Illuminate are cast into the void they came from. This is your trusty Helldiver Cellspear signing out for Super Earth. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, you know what to do. See you on the battlefield.